Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for Saturday. Hope you're having a good weekend. Let's get right into the charts. All right, so what do we have going on? We got a little bit of a move to the upside from where we were yesterday. We were down here. We saw a little move to the upside up to that 87 level that we were talking about yesterday needed to be broken to see a higher high. We would love to see that. Well, it didn't. Finished up flat. But you know what that does, though? That creates a slightly different head and shoulders pattern for us. So instead of those being the shoulders, these are now the shoulders, and that's now the head, and that's now the shoulder level. So we could take a different measured move, a little bit of a bigger measured move. Oop, a little too much, but we'll leave it to the shoulder line. And we see that we'll get right up over 94,000, just slightly under 95, which, hey, I would love to see that, because if we can get up over 94, then we'll invalidate this bear flag here on the 6-hour chart. But we'll get back to that. We are seeing price action holding over top of this former resistance line. Perhaps it can now be flipped. That's a little dark. Can't see that. Perhaps it'll now act as support should we fall back down to that level. And I mean, we still could move down to 82, would not invalidate this head and shoulders pattern, not one bit. So if we do see a move down to that 82 level, we'd actually still be above both this resistance line, now acting as support, as well as this 82 major support now level. I guess it was still support even here on the daily, because it was never broken there. It was only broken here, here on the 6-hour and the 90-minute chart briefly. But yeah, it was broken briefly. Let's see, what else do we got? So what we want to see now is for some bulls to find some strength. We want to see price action come up over 87. We want to see that higher high. Excuse me, because if we can see that higher high, well, then this bearish div that we talked about yesterday with this green line with the price action showing lower highs, it still would be showing lower highs. See, lower highs. But we're going to leave it where it was. But then we're seeing higher highs here on RSI. Well, that tells us that shows us a hidden bearish div. Now, if price action can get up over that 87 level, then we can say that bearish div is invalidated, and this bullish div that we were looking at is still there. It's still technically playing out. We are seeing confluence now between the lows coming in higher and the lows coming in higher here on RSI as well. You'll notice that we are hanging out in bullish territory. We came down to the 50 and we stayed in bullish territory. That's a good sign. Another good sign is the upwards momentum we're seeing here on the stochastics. We are seeing it slow down a little bit, a little curl here, but that can catch back up if within the next hour and 23 minutes the candle just started. If we see some upwards momentum, we'll see the Stokes heading up, we'll see some upwards momentum, and maybe we'll see this RSI get a little bit higher as well, and price action put in a higher high as well. That's what we want to see happen. That's what we're hoping to see happen, but anything can happen. We could see some downwards moves. If we do, 82 should hold. If not, then hey, bear flag. But yeah, let's take a look, see here. Also, the 94 level here. Yeah, like I said, that would invalidate the bear flag. And we could see some resistance from these levels here. This level, local resistance here that we caught up to at around 89, right around 89. And then, of course, this 89.8 level, that's a major resistance as well. So if we can, although with the 89.8, we blasted right through that on the way down. So we might blast right through it on the way back up. It can happen. Also, you'll notice that if this head and shoulders does play out, we'll be back over the 200 moving average here on the 90-minute chart, which is good. We like being over the 200. We're bullish when we're over. We're bearish when we're under. So still tentatively bearish as we're under, but we'll be moving closer to getting back over the 200 on both of these time frames. Oh yeah, but if we do come to that 89.8 level, you'll notice that here on this fib retracement we drew yesterday on the 6-hour chart, that 89.8 level is actually right on that 618, which is a likely reversal point. So we could see price action come up, draw it. Price action could come up, find a little resistance here, and then come back down. Or like I said, we could blast right through there. Then we're in the golden pocket of the fib retracement, so we could see a reversal from there. And we really won't say that this breakout's invalidating that bear flag until we see price action get up over 94. So that's what we want to see. We want to see price action get up over 94, which if this head and shoulders plays out, it will. All right, what else are we seeing on the 6-hour chart? So not really much has changed here. The Stokes do seem to be maintaining their position here in overbought territory. And as long as the Stokes here on the 90-minute chart can maintain this upward momentum, well, then we could see them maintaining this position in overbought territory for a little bit longer. Eventually, the Stokes will drop out. Hopefully, that happens when we're up here over 94, not when we're down here either wrestling with 89.8 or even when we're still down here near 85. RSI, however, is still in bearish territory. But it does have a chance to move to the upside with the Stokes getting stuck there, and especially with the Stokes being pointing up here as well. Now, if we could see some more upside here, we could see RSI moving into bullish territory and dragging price up with it, or vice versa. We would see price go up, dragging RSI with it. They move hand in hand, really. All right, that's really all that's different here on the 6-hour chart. We are seeing some big volatility still up here. Oopsie doopsies. Let me get rid of that and move this chart over a little bit. Massive volatility still, and we're still seeing some wide Bollinger Bands. So we could easily see that move up into another place where we might see some resistances here at this 92 level-ish, which is also that 786 retracement here at 92.6. Anyway, let's look at the daily. So the daily, we'll see that yesterday's candle closed above the gap in the VRVP. I took it away. Let me bring it back real quick. Visible range volume profile. Bringing it back. It didn't add. Let's visible range volume profile. There we are. Remember, there was this big gap there that we fell through by coming down to that 78 level, and we're back above the gap, so that's good. A little gap up here, maybe we'll blast through that as well. We get back up to 87. We shall see. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the VRVP because it kind of just takes up room, and let's take a look at the daily. We'll zoom in a little bit here. So we'll see that yesterday's candle closed with this shooting star candle, which usually indicates some upwards momentum. It's a reversal sign, but nothing is set in stone. We're also up over the VRVP. That's a bullish sign as well. You couple that with the fact that the price made it to the golden pocket retracement level here, and has now come up a little bit, back up over that 618, which is, again, a likely reversal zone. You couple those two things together, and hey, the probability of the reversal is growing a little bit. Slightly more. They get slightly more than the probability of the downside. Just slightly more. You couple that along with the RSI and the Stokes still finding themselves in oversold territory. That's another little bullish sign there for you. They're still hanging out in oversold. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't hang out here for a little longer and that we can't see further downside, like back to the 778 level, candlestick this wick. But it's likely that we're going to see a reversal. It is so low. We haven't seen a RSI this low since Bitcoin was at 25,000. What was that? Was at $25,000 back in 2023. And what did we see after that? A big breakup. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. However, the RSI being under its signal line does present some possible struggle above us. However, if we can see the RSI break over that signal line, and more importantly, form a new higher high, well, then that higher high would be in bullish territory, and we would likely see price follow back up into that high 90s or possibly even into that 100K region. Now, that's some hopium that you can put in your pipe and smoke on. But remember, that's just hopium. And this bear flag is still valid. Keep it in the back of your mind. Oh, that's where I put the VRVP. And delete that. Keep that in the back of your mind or the front of your mind, because, the downside is still valid. It's still there while this bear flag is still here. What would be the measured move? Well, we're still in this pattern, so let's just put it to the breakout point, 65. Now, what would be the measured move from the 618? 72. And if we got to the 786, 76, which is this level here. Now, I forgot to mention, hey, the 200-day moving average here, we did wick under it briefly, but we've popped back up over it. So we're over that 200. Like I said, over the 200, feeling more bullish. Under the 200, feeling more bearish. We're under here, so on the short term, we could still feel bearishness coming. But on the long term, we can still possibly expect some more bullishness as long as, price action is over that 200-day moving average, which it is currently, but it's very close to it. All right, let's see what happens. I mean, price could also just move sideways. All I know is I know nothing. All I know is what the charts are telling me. And right now they're telling me that it's slightly more likely that we see a reversal. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Music has been provided by Luminist, Veloa, and Sax Squatch. Y'all are awesome. Keep that up. Much love. See you later.